It's Derek from the Fantasy Flyer.
How's it going, guys? It's Derek, Fantasy Flyer. Just wanted to stop in, do a quick Thursday night 9, so to speak, about 7:30 Eastern. I don't think I'll get this video up until about 8:30 or 9. Hopefully sooner, but limited editing. We're just going to go through and tackle some of the big issues and happenings as we go into week 2. Our Tuesday show got corrupt in multiple ways by multiple different things. So, just going to drop in, give a little bit of the thoughts on what's happening. Let's start with the running back market, which is absolute dog water. It is horrible right now. There's like 7 good running backs. I shouldn't say that's 7 good, but there are 7 extremely startable running backs, and everybody else is there doing things. So, Saquon, of course, is out tonight against the 49ers. Hopefully that is not breaking news to you, because by the time this video gets up, the game will have started. So Matt Breida will probably get a lot of carries. I believe Eric Gray will probably be involved in some ugly fashion. So that is your running back core against the 49ers, which, to be fair, even with Saquon, I don't like the Giants here. So if Saquon misses another, I would say next week he would probably be back. I know there was talk of him potentially being ready tonight. Smart move not to get him into tonight's game. Nick Chubb, horrific injury on Monday Night Football. If you watched it, it wasn't. It was very very ugly. It was very. Jerome Ford, I think, is still, according to Kevin Stefanski, still the starting running back. I know they signed Kareem Hunt yesterday for the remainder of the year for up to $4 million, maybe a $4 million deal. I don't know. It's probably somewhere in the neighborhood of $3 million and then another million in incentives. Either way, Stefanski reiterated yesterday that Jerome Ford was going to be the starting running back. I am thinking 50-50 here, despite Ford starting. 60-40, probably the ceiling either way. For the Nick Chubb owner, I'm either one. I mean, the higher points on the reception side on PPR leagues for Kareem Hunt. I like Jerome Ford in my league. I don't think either one are bad plays. So, Tennessee is that's who the Browns take on this weekend. Cleveland is 3.5-point favorites. That's the Sunday 1 o'clock game. David Montgomery, thigh injury, could be 2 to 3 weeks. Jahmyr Gibbs, I mean, rack him, line him up. He had a lot of targets against Seattle last week. Team lead, I believe he had 7, which is a very good sign. Now he's going to get a little bit more running. I know Craig Reynolds will be involved when Montgomery got hurt in, I believe, the third quarter. Looked like Craig Reynolds came out of nowhere and decided to take some of the snaps, and that's fine. I think Jahmyr Gibbs still sees a huge uptick from no David Montgomery here. The chance to take the top spot for him is still minimal, I think, even with the 3 weeks. Detroit faces Falcons, Packers, and Panthers, which are all solid rush defenses. Not enough to dissuade me from taking Gibbs or to start him anyway. Cam Akers got traded to the Minnesota Vikings for a package of peanuts, essentially. A swap of 2026 picks, which, whatever. Obviously, Kyron Williams is still the one with the Rams. Great spot for him. For Alexander Madison, this means competition to a certain extent. Madison was not productive. The Vikings are, through 2 weeks, NFL worst, 69 total rush yards. 69, of course.
This is so cool.
Very cool. But other than that, this team needs to find a run game. It can't just be all passes. They are 0-2. They are not doing spectacular, and I think the run game is going to help them. I don't think Akers is the answer there, but you need a little bit of a change of pace, so to speak. Jamal Williams, I believe he's out for at least this week and potentially next week. Tony Jones came in after Jamal Williams' injury on Monday night. Tony Jones had a spectacular game, had 2 touchdowns, did fantastic, wonderful things. I'm hesitant on Jones compared to, let's say, like a Jerome Ford or even an Alexander Madison or Cam Akers. I see Kendre Miller is supposed to be available this weekend. He is trending to be. And I'm more interested to see what happens there. Again, this is the final week without Alvin Kamara, too, who will return in week 4. So this is a good opportunity for Kendre Miller to have a good chance of the backfield, show the Saints what they can do, what he can do for them, excuse me. And then, okay, words. And again, it's against the Packers. So, Packers have had, they're 1-1. They did some pretty, honestly, they're playing very well. Jordan Love is playing very well. I'm interested to see how this game goes. Just to double check myself here, Saints and Packers is a 1:00 game. Green Bay 1.5-point favorites. So just to lead in for some of the notes on the running back, wide receiver Christian Watson is supposed to make his return in that same game. He sat the first 2 weeks, so that's a positive sign. I believe Chris Olave is perfectly fine. I don't see any other injury news that is incredibly pressing. Brandon Ayuk is out for tonight as well for the 49ers. A very interesting game on Thursday Night Football. I just want to continue to. I think it's more interesting than people are leading to believe. I get trap game vibes. Not to say that the 49ers will lose or anything like that, but I think this game could be closer. Just because the Giants have a lot to prove, and it just feels like this game isn't going to be a 14-point blowout right now to me. I could be completely wrong because the Giants have surprised me already this year by scoring a grand total of 15 points or something. I don't know how many it was. Wasn't a lot. So 49ers tonight for sure. I'm going to real quick check the other notes. Interesting game between Colts and Ravens also going on Sunday. I'm interested to see how it looks like Gardner Minshew will be starting that game. He's on pace to start that game. I'm interested to see if he can keep the Colts. Right now, Baltimore 8-point favorites. I'm interested to see if he can keep the Colts in it because Minshew's season has been surprising. Also happening on Sunday, the almost said Seahawks. That's incorrect. The Panthers will likely not have Bryce Young. It looks like it is going to be Andy Dalton. So Panthers will be taking on the Seahawks. I like the Seahawks already. Now I like the Seahawks even more. DK Metcalf did not practice today, nor did Boye Mafe or Tariq Woolen. Defense could take a bit of a hit. Still like the Seahawks. Don't overthink that one. Other than that, not a whole heck of a lot that I can see as far as injury news goes on. Keep an eye on all of the waivers and injuries going on. Austin Eckler questionable. I did not see if he practiced today for the Chargers-Vikings game. That should be a very high-scoring affair. I am a little bit in on Alexander Madison. He will not be on the start-sits tomorrow, but this Chargers team is just bad against the run, like league worst since the beginning of last year. So if Madison has any opportunity to be as productive that he has not been so far through 2 weeks, it is tomorrow, and otherwise you may see a lot of Cam Akers. Who knows? But I just wanted to stop in and give that little bit of a video for you guys. It's nothing crazy. Running back news. Obviously there's a lot to gain from that position because there just doesn't seem to be a lot going on other than injuries. Aaron Jones, I believe, is on track to play this week. He did not play last week. That's got to be the biggest help for most fantasy teams. Wide receiver spot, I still like Jaden Reed despite the return of Christian Watson. He's been very good. Deebo Samuel tonight with no Brandon Ayuk. You shouldn't need Brandon Ayuk to be out to start Deebo Samuel, but just letting you know. I also like George Kittle tonight, which is extremely interesting. I think he is, with no Ayuk, I think he's in pace for a 40 to 50-yard game and a touchdown, and that's probably the floor. Also interested to see how the 49ers rework in Elijah Mitchell, who was held to not a single snap last week. And that's just, on a short week, it just makes sense to rework him back in. So you could see something like 50-50 or even 60-40 going towards, 60-40 would be CMC 60 and 40 Mitchell. But you could even see 50-50 CMC and Mitchell just to save a little bit of the older gentleman that is CMC. He is 28 years old after all. Other than that, I just wanted to give that little video, kind of get something out there. We will be back hopefully tomorrow night. I can get the video up, but we will be recording tomorrow night on Friday, the 22nd, and we will have episode 8 for you coming this weekend. And we're going to talk about the starts and sits, where the Fantasy Flyer is currently 11 of 12. So just want to throw that out there. We're looking to go 17 for 18 tomorrow. So join us then. This has been Derek for the Fantasy Flyer. We'll see y'all tomorrow.